For us to start our slide deck, from inception, we have highlighted a slide deck. It's a collection of different slides. And for us to be able to start our slide deck, we open to the Microsoft PowerPoint and we navigate to the blank presentation. After you open your Microsoft PowerPoint, you see the interface here. So we click on blank presentation. So we'll see the first interface coming up, and we'll see the first slide by the left-hand side. You right-click the slide, you go to layout. From layout, you choose title only. From title only, we now insert interactive presentation. After you must have entered interactive presentation, you highlight by either pressing Ctrl A or using the mouse cursor. You change the format, you make the font to be bold. You align to the right. And after aligning to the right, the next thing is for us to go to insert. I want our slide deck to have a form of a bar. You pick rectangle. Immediately you see this plus sign, you click and drag. After you must have click and drag, I want to have multiple of these bars. I press Ctrl D, which means duplicate. You merge them together. You create multiple of them. I have like 5 bars here now. I will create more, making 6. So after having these bars, I want these bars to have handle also. I go to insert, go to shape. I pick this isosceles triangle. I want each of these bars to have a number. From there, I go to format. From format, rotate right 90 degree. I pick this isosceles triangle and merge it with the bar. I press Shift button. I bring it to merge it with the bar. Press Control button to have a duplicate of it. Press and hold Control button to have a duplicate. Press and hold Control button to have a duplicate. Press and hold Control button to have a duplicate. Press and hold to have a duplicate for each of the bars. Each of the bar, I press and hold. After I must have done that, you highlight the handle. You make sure that all the handles are highlighted. You highlight all the handle, you go to format. After highlighting, you highlight all the handle. Make sure that all the handle is being highlighted. One is missing. You make sure that we highlight everything. Okay, I've gotten that. You go to format. From format, you go to align. You say distribute vertically. After you must have distribute vertically, now we want to make use of the mesh shape. We want to match the handle together with the bar to be a particular shape. So as to be one shape, you go to mesh shape, you click on union. You do that for the other bars. You go to mesh shape union. You do that with the other bars. You go to format, mesh shape, union. Don't bother, it will disappear, but don't bother. We'll bring it back. Mesh shape union. Mesh shape union. Mesh shape union. So now we have succeeded in merging the shapes together. These are two different shapes that we meshed together. Now you send this one to the back. You send the first one to the back. You send the third one to the front. You send to the front. Subsequent one, you send it to the front. You send it to the front. So we can see all our bars are appearing. Now I want each of these handle to have a number. Place a number on it. Each of these bar. You can choose the font type that you choose you want. You can choose the font. You choose the font type you want. I do that for the other handle. The fonts you want. I want the font to be uniform. I choose the font type I want. That's the font theme that you want. The name of the handle. You can decide to put the number then before you change it. It's up to you. Do that for the next one. So you see, we have succeeded in having a number for the handle. Now, after having a number for the handle, we need to match them as group. You match as group. You match the number and the bars as group. You press Ctrl G, or you go to format. You go to format, Ctrl G, Ctrl G. You can either go to format and you see group and you group them. Grouping them, you group them together. Now we have succeeded in doing that. Now I want us to have a different color for our handle. You go to format, you go to shape fill. Since we are having 6 colors, let me start from picking this blue. You go to the shape fill, pick gradient. I want to pick linear right so that it has a form of a dark edge by the left. I do that for the second one, the second bar. I change the color. I go to gradient, linear right. I choose the third bar, put color, gradient, linear right, color, gradient, linear right, color, gradient, linear right, color, gradient, linear right. So we succeeded in having this. I will still go back to the slide, click the layout. Now this time around, title and content. I want to have a content for this presentation. I want each of these bar to have a title. So I'm attaching a content to each of these bar. Let's start. Let me put abstract, introduction, just an example of a content I want each of the bar to carry. Introduction, maybe let's say related works, methodology, results, questions, conclusion. So we choose to have another font, different font theme for this one. You can choose to highlight everything, Control A, or you use your mouse cursor to highlight Arial black. So we're done with that. Okay, for this our handle, we can decide to change the color of the numbers we have here by going to format, click on text field, then we'll put white. Text field, white. Click white, so that it will be white, so that it will be the contents that will be black. Our heading, we can choose to also change the fonts of our heading, be a bit darker. You can decide to make it whatever you want, you make it the way you want it. Okay. So we have gotten what we want here now. Then you click for us to be able to have our slide deck. Click on each of these bar, press the control button and hold. Press control button, hold, press, hold, and click each of these bar. We want to start applying the interactive presentation, some of the elements that we highlighted. For us to be able to have interactive presentation, we see some of the elements. We have animations, we have transitions, we have triggers, and we have data visualization. So now we want to apply animation to this bar. You click on animation. I want the animation to be flying in animation. And I want each of these bar till when you press till when you click on click, then before it brings the next thing. And I will apply effect. I want this animation from, by default, it comes from bottom. You can check that by going to the animation panel. If you play it, you will see that it's coming from the bottom. I don't want it from the bottom. I want it from the left. I click effect option. From effect option, I click from left. If you press it, you see how it will be. So after doing that, I go back to my content now. I highlight my content. I want my content to also have animation. I want a fade animation. And I want each of these to be under each of these bar. So you go here, you pick abstract, you put it under group 1. You pick introduction, you put it under the second group, related work you put under the next group, under the next group, under the next group, and you highlight them. After you highlight them, you click start with previous. So you will see the first bar here, 1, and also this one is 1 here. So it means that they are on the same level. So if you click on this, this will come out. If you click on the second one, the second one will come out here. We can try that. We can play. Okay. We go to our slideshow. Let's see how it looks from our slideshow. If you click, it comes. You click, you click, click, you click, you click, it comes. Okay, let's go back to our design view. You can have a background. You can change the background of this interactive presentation by going to insert, then you go to pictures. So it means that you must have pictures maybe probably on your system that you want to use, or a background that you want to use. It will take you to a location on your system where you can pick a background. So I have some background here. I click on the background. After I click on the background appeared here. So I will drag till it fits into the slide. After I did this, you right click, you click on it, and you send to back. So I have sent to back. I've been able to create a background that looks much better. So each of this content should have their own separate slide. I right click on the slide, I click new slide. Since already from a session we're using our layout, we're using title only. Maybe I put abstract here. Abstract here. Format. You go to align to the middle. You go to home, align to center. You can highlight and change the font to Arial. You can have a duplicate of this so that you right click and click on duplicate slide, or you press Ctrl D, you have a duplicate of that. Abstract, we'll change this one to introduction. Change the next slide to related work. Change the next slide. Technology. Change the next slide to results. Expression. We'll change the next slide. Conclusion. Conclusion. Now, you remember that each of these bar, the first one have green color, the second one have blue, like that. So we go to the first bar, the first slide, which is our abstract. We go to format background color. We want each of the slide to have the same color, like the bars that we have here. You go to solid fill, you change the color. The first bar is carrying green. The second one is blue. The third one is yellow. Fourth one is ash, gray. hash. The fourth one is orange. The last one is blue. So we have been able to create a slide for each of these now. So now we want to apply, we said for us to have an interactive presentation or interactive slide deck, we need to use either we're using animation, transition, and our hyperlinks. So we've been able to apply transition, animation first. So for transition, we can highlight Control A. You click the first slide, you click Control A, then you go to transition. In my transition, I always want peel off. So I pick the peel off. So let's see how that works. Let's go to our slideshow. After you press, the next slide will come. You see the next slide, the next slide, the next slide, the next slide. So it goes. So now we've been able to apply animations and transition. Now we'll be applying hyperlink. We want by the time you click the number here, it should be able to take you to page 1. When you click 2 here, it should be able to take you to page 2. So we click on it and we right click. Then you go to hyperlinks. So you choose place in this document. So the first one is abstract. And you see the color match with the color of the handle. The second one, second number, hyperlinks, introduction. The third one, hyperlinks. See the color. Hyperlinks. Logic. Fifth one, hyperlinks. So let's go to slideshow and see what happened. I click on each of these ones. If, for example, I want to click on page 3. What is in 3? Related works. So now you see our hyperlinks. You can apply hyperlinks to the various slides to help you change the various slides. Now we take, for example, after I pick abstract now, and I want to go back to the first slide, we can create a button that will help us to do that. You go to insert, you go to your shape, you pick a different arrow we have. Place an arrow here. After you place an arrow, I want the arrow to be white. I pick another arrow for back button. This is front. I pick another arrow for back. You can reduce it to the size you want. I change it also to white. So this one now is for the next slide now. I apply hyperlink. After abstract, the next one is introduction. And this one, the next one, if I'm going back, if I apply hyperlink, if I'm going back from abstract, we'll just go back to our first slide, which is interactive presentation. So let's see whether the button work. If you go to next, it gives us next. If you click back, it takes us to the first slide. So our hyperlink is working for buttons. So we could highlight this man here and copy and paste on each of the slides, the remaining slides. Paste, 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 paste. So you now go back on each of the slides, you change you edit hyperlinks so that it will be to the next. It will not take us to introduction back. So the next one after introduction is related work. After related work, the next one is methodology. You click on methodology. After methodology, the next one will have edit hyperlinks, is results. After results, the next one will have edit is conclusion. So let's have the slideshow for this. If you go back, so for example, I want to go to page 4, click on page 4. And after methodology, what next? You have result and discussion. If you want to go back, it take us to our first slide. So that is that for creating an interactive slide deck. That's an example of how to create an interactive slide deck. Please don't forget to save your documents immediately after you must have been done. I will save it with interactive presentation. So thank you for listening.